Yeah, Mr. Angel, will you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. My name is Angel Cabrera. So I was born and raised here in the Philippines. I've never been abroad, sir. So this is going to be my first time. If I'm a potential hire for your company, then it's going to be the first time that I will be going out of my country. So in the current job that I'm doing, I am an English teacher for 9 years now. I am also a certified. I have certification for TESOL and TEFL, and I'm also a college instructor on a weekend. And in the place I am from, I actually have this nonprofit organization where I teach children how to read and write, but I'm not getting paid out of it. I'm just doing it out of charity.
Okay, that's wonderful. What's your major, by the way?
English.
English. Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, let's talk about the techniques and methodology of teaching English as a ESL language.
Yeah, sure. So, the Philippines is actually not speaking or not using the English language as our first language. So we are also considered as non-native. So it's very difficult for me to introduce the English subject and have my class love the subject itself. But what I actually do is that I need to make sure that before I get to my classroom, I need to make sure that I have activities that's really creative, that would allow my students to really like think out of the box, and then at the end of the day that they will appreciate the English subject. So what I do normally is that I adopt technology. So if it's difficult for the learner to really understand the lesson, then what I do is I try to come up with an activity where they would have to see a video maybe, and then they would have to do a role playing game, something like they would really like make them feel comfortable in using the English language.
That's great. That's wonderful. Let's talk about your class management.
Yeah, sure. So, in my typical day in my classroom, what I do is that I need to organize them. I need to set the mood before I start my class. So, how I do it is that I need to bring my best smile before I start my class, set the mood, let them do an activity first, have a review of what happened with the previous class, and then um, in my sitting arrangement, I need to make sure that those whom I considered as challenged students in my class, I have to let them sit in front of my class. Okay, so I need them to be really paying attention to me while I'm discussing, because there are a lot of students who will really not pay attention to you, especially if they're not interested at all. So how I convert their attention and make it, or like make them really pay attention to me so that they will learn at the end of the day, is that I need to make sure that they're sitting in front, and if they're not still not listening, then I would have to call their attention, let them do the activity themselves. And during the group activities, I make sure that they are really playing a big role in the group activity. So if not a leader, maybe then maybe the runner for the group. So they will become the reporters. So in this way, that's what I've observed, and it's really effective so far for 9 years. They are participating, and at the end of the class, they will say that thank you so much for teaching us because I am interested with the subject now that I'm their teacher. That's how I do it.
Okay, that's good. What do what do you usually do with lazy student? How do you encourage them?
hmm That's actually a very good question, sir. So I have a lot of lazy students here in the Philippines. Just try to imagine I'm actually handling 8 classes, no vacant at all, and each class is actually composed of 50 to 60 students. That's per
Wow,
class. So
wow.
I encounter a lot of lazy students, those who are really tardy, those who are disinterested to learn and go to school. So how I motivate them is that I just really need to make sure that whenever they're inside my classroom, they will be getting points. So if you're listening and then if you participate in my class, you will be receiving extra points for that. And aside from that, if you're still not cooperating with the class style that I'm doing, then the easiest way maybe for me to do is to talk to that student personally, and then I'll get to know that student first. And now that I have identified the problem of why is he like that or why is she like that, then I personalize my lesson to that student. Okay, so what I do is come up with a customized lesson plan, a customized lesson, and a customized topic specifically for that student. So in the long run, maybe let's say in a week time, I will let that student be blended with everybody else, and then that's where I can see that he is now learning, and that laziness has been eradicated, and he is now participating. So far, it's actually effective.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Do
Thank
you
you.
usually prepare a lesson plan for your classroom?
Yes, I do not attend a class without a lesson plan with me. So I need to make sure that before I go home for that day, I already crafted and made my lesson plan and then submit it to my superior, have it checked, and now I'm ready. In my house, that's where I make my presentations so that
Okay.
tomorrow, so much ready.
Uh-huh. Do you think you have the capability to let your student, come to your classroom? They are really willing to come to your classroom. Do you have the attractiveness things to really
My
attract them?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry for the interruption. My philosophy in teaching is always I'm the kind of educator who makes learning fun. So I really need to make sure that my students are really paying attention and are really interested in my subject. I know learning language is actually not easy, but if the teacher will just be making a lot of activities, make everyday learning really fun, maybe a bit crazy, but still fun, then they will be interested in attending your class. And that's what I do here for 9 years. So far, again, it's proven and tested that every day in my class, I have students who are attending in my class but not attending to other subjects. But during my time, they come to my class because they find it exciting. I just need to think of activities that they find exciting and really creative.
That's wonderful. Have you taught TOEFL, IELTS, TOEIC to the adult student? I mean, to the student finish high school, they are ready to go to college.
Yes, sir. I mentioned to you earlier, and it's found in my resume as well, that I am also a part-time college instructor on weekends. So I teach English to as a foreign language to everybody here in the Philippines, and I also teach English to speakers of other language.
Have you worked with a call center before?
Yes, sir. I've had 5 years of call center experience, sir.
Wow, that's great. Which company?
UHG was the latest. It's United Health Group. It's an insurance company. It's an American insurance company. So what I do there is conduct interview to Americans, and I'll try to find out if they'll be granted with an insurance or life insurance, or if they have to fail it, and then I have to decline their application.
Okay, so do they give you a training for how to communicate or those stuff things?
Yes, sir. I can say that that's where I actually learned, and yeah, I that's where I learned how to speak this way, because before we go into nesting production, or before we actually take calls, we have to undergo a 1 month communications training.
Mm, that's wonderful. Okay. Among 10 teacher, why should we choose you, do you think?
You have to choose me, sir, because I have to like exchange my 9 years of experience here. I've actually paid very well here in the Philippines, but I just really wanted to experience another culture. And Saudi Arabia, I have to admit it, it's one of the countries that's really like hard to penetrate. I want to be there because I want to be exposed with the kind of cultures you have there. And I wanted to help other students to really appreciate English. You have to hire me, sir, because aside from being passionate, I'm really dedicated with my work. In fact, I can really like extend my time. Even if I'm just asked to go work on 8 hours, I can actually extend to 10 hours because I really love working, and I like it when I'm full at hand.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Tell me now, you would like to go abroad to experience these things, right?
Yes, sir. Very much.
Uh, how do you know about my school? تفضل. يا هلا. 1 minute please. يا
Yes,
هلا.
sir.
هلا حيا. مرحبا. كيف حالك؟ كيف الحوار؟ كيف حالك؟
الحمد
ليش
لله.
كذا؟ طيب ان شاء الله. حيا الله فارس، حيا الله الغالي. يا هلا. حيا الله الغالي. هاك. كوفي. الله يسلمك. كيف امك فارس؟ طيب. كابتشينو، كوفي، اسبريسو.
الاسبريسو ماشي. اوكي.
اسبريسو مع دونات حاجه كذا حلوه. شيء. Yes, sir. Okay. So, do you promise that you will give all your best to your student?
Yes, sir. 100% yes.
What do you want to get when you come to Saudi Arabia, actually?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. The connection is not.
What do you want to get when you come to Saudi Arabia? You want to get your salary on time, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Of course, because I need to send money to my family here as well in the Philippines.
Yeah. Everything in a contract we have to follow as a company, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Of course.
What do you supposed to give to our student?
What am I supposed to?
To offer to our student?
Oh, I can offer the best learning experience that they will be having.
You are talking about the quality, right?
Yes, sir.
Is
Best quality.
the responsibility of the teaching, is it parents or the teacher to the student?
It should be both, but if they're in school, it's the responsibility of the teacher.
What about if the parents didn't know English?
Oh, that way it will be better if we will have like a communism experience. We need to make sure that there is always a tied up relationship between the parent and the student. So if the parent does not know how to speak English, then I would have to ask my coworkers to maybe interpret for me, because if I'm new, and then I would have to make sure that I would also have to learn Arabic so that it will be easier for me to understand and to easily communicate with the parent of my student.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for your time. I need three things from your side. A letter, okay, to my school, that what are you going to add to my school when you join it? Okay.
Okay.
The second thing, I want a demo video for 5 minutes, okay, for adult.
Okay.
Show me your techniques in mythology in teaching English as ESL language. And another video for kids. Also
Okay.
5 minutes, okay. Show me the same thing, your techniques and mythology, your way. I want to see your movement inside the class, okay. And choose the topic or the lesson you prefer and
Okay, sir.
send it to me. I will send you now my WhatsApp number, okay? So it will be easy for me and easy for you, okay, to send it to me. When are you going to be able to send those two videos and the letter?
I can do the video now, sir, and I would have to like make it or polish it. So maybe by tomorrow, sir. Will it be okay if I'll send it tomorrow?
Yep. Yep, fine. As soon as you make it fast, so I can contact the agency over there in Philippines, so they will contact you. By the way, do you have your passport ready?
Yes, sir.
What about your license for teaching?
It will expire in March, but I already renewed last week,
Okay,
so it will
that's
be ready soon.
okay. Sounds good. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for your video. I will write you right now my WhatsApp number. Okay,
All
and
right.
please send it to me as soon as possible.
All right, sir. Noted. Thank you so much, Mr. Zaki.
Thank you so much. I wish you a great day and I'm happy to talk to you. Thanks so much.
Same
Bye
here.
bye.
Goodbye. Bye.